Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, my group and I will present about elasticity in chapter 3. Before we get started, I would like to first introduce our group members. Our group consists of 5 members, me, myself, Nur Atiqah, our second presenter, Irsha Athirah, our third presenter is Irfan Muqri, our fourth presenter is Sofea Aleeya, and our last presenter is Juliana Natasha. Introduction to elasticity. Elasticity refers to the relative responsiveness of a demand or supply curve in relation to any of its determinants. In other words, we can say that elasticity measures the responsiveness of one variable, the dependent variable, to a change in another variable, the independent variable. Elasticity also can be compared roughly by the slope of the demand curve, using the steepness or flatness of the demand or supply curve. This is the types of elasticity for demand and supply. First, price elasticity of demand. Second, income elasticity of demand. Third, cross elasticity of demand. And for the supply, there is a price elasticity of supply. Price elasticity of demand. It measures the degree of responsiveness of the quantity demanded for a particular good with respect to the changes in the price. What about the formula? As you can see from the diagram shown, the formula for PED, price elasticity of demand, is percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in price. So, this is the example for the question that we can use the formula to solve the question, and this is the solution that we get using the formula. Next, we can use the midpoint formula to calculate price elasticity of demand. Another way to calculate the price elasticity of demand is by using midpoint formula. In this formula, average percentage change of price and quantity demanded are used instead of simple percentage change in price and quantity demanded. The midpoint formula generates the same result regardless of the direction of change between the 2 points. So this is the midpoint formula that we can use to calculate price elasticity of demand.
Next, I would like to talk about degrees of responsiveness in price elasticity of demand. There are 5 types of responsiveness include the shapes of demand curves. Number 1, perfect inelastic. It is a condition when the price changes, the quantity demand remain the same. For example, medicinal drugs. Number 2, inelastic. It occurs when the percentage change in price is larger than the percentage change in quantity demand. For example, gasoline. Number 3, unitary elastic. It is happen when the percentage change in price equals to percentage change in quantity demand. Number 4, elastic. It occurs when the percentage change in price is smaller than in quantity demand. For example, body wash. Last but not least, perfect elastic. It is a condition when the price will change the quantity demand in infinite value. The relationship between price elasticity and total revenue is important since it can be maximized by knowing the price elasticity. Based on this table, it shows about how it is affected by elasticity of demand. For example, on elastic demand and total revenue, when the price is 10 ringgit and increase to 12 ringgit, the total revenue will decrease. On the other hand, when the price is 10 ringgit and decrease to 8 ringgit, the total revenue will increase. Moreover, for elastic demand and trade revenue, when the price is increased, the total revenue will be increased too. Then, for unitary elastic demand and total revenue, the proportionate change in quantity demand is exactly equal to proportionate change in price. Finally, there are 3 factors that influencing price elasticity of demand, which are consumers' habit. For consumers who are habituated in caffeine, demand will be inelastic because it becomes essential item for them. Next, proportion of income spent on product. If a small proportion of income spent on goods, the demand will be inelastic. For example, the consumer may still buy salt although the price increased to 15%. Lastly, those with high incomes generally have inelastic demand because they are less sensitive to price changes. However, those with lower incomes whereby a slight change in price of goods will affect their budget extremely.
Income elasticity of demand refers to the sensitivity of the quantity demanded for a certain good to a change in the real income of consumers who buy this good. The higher the income elasticity of demand for a particular good, the more demand for that good is tied to fluctuations in consumers' income. Income elasticity of demand measures the degree of responsive of the quantity demanded for a particular goods with respect to the changes in income of the consumer. This is the formula to calculate income elasticity of demand. For the sample question is, Daniel's income rises from $1,000 to $1,600 and his demand for goods X increased from 30 units to 65 units per month. Determine the type of goods for goods X. Use the formula to calculate and insert the number given and get the correct answer. Another way to calculate is by using the midpoint formula. Average percentage change of quantity demanded and percentage of income are being used instead of the simple method as discussed earlier. Turning to the same example for sample question 3.3. The midpoint method to calculate income elasticity is by using the formula and insert the number given and get the correct answer for the question. Of responsive in income elasticity of demand. The degree of income elasticity of demand refers to the varying consumer reactions, quantity demand, to a change in income. By the way, there are 4 types, which is negative income elasticity, zero income elasticity, inelastic income elasticity, lastly, elastic income elasticity.
I'm Nur Sofea Aleeya binti Sulaiman. My ID number is BDB 2107066. I'm going to present about the cross elasticity of demand. The cross elasticity of demand is an economic concept that measures the responsiveness of one good's quantity demand when the price of another good changes. This measurement, also known as cross price elasticity of demand, is calculated by dividing the percentage change in the quantity demand of one good by the percentage change in the price of the other good. Because consumption behavior is linked, a change in the price of one good causes a change in demand for another. There are 2 types of related goods, substitutes and complement goods. The coefficient of cross elasticity is 0 if the 2 goods are unrelated. Calculation of cross elasticity is evaluated the following way: xy equal percentage variation of the quantity demand of x, percentage variation of the price of product y. In arithmetic terms, the following formula will be used, where qx equal amount of x, amount of y px, price of y. The cross elasticity of demand, also known as the cross price elasticity of demand, is a measure in economics that compares the percentage change in the quantity demand for one good to the percentage in the price of another good, all else being equal. That's all.
Thank you, Sofia, for a great presentation. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Juliana Natasha. I am the last presenter in our group. So the last topic that I would like to present is price elasticity of supply. Let's look at the definition of price elasticity of supply. Price elasticity of supply measures the degree of responsiveness of the quantity supplied for a particular goods with respect to a change in the price. What about the formula? The formula that we need to know to calculate price elasticity of supply is ES equal to percentage change in quantity supply of goods over percentage change in price of goods, where ES equal to QS 1 minus QS0 over QS0 divided by P1 minus P2 over P0. Besides, ES equal to QS 1 minus QS0 over QS0 times P0 over P1 minus P0. Next, as you can see, there is 5 degrees of responsiveness in price elasticity of supply. One of it is perfectly inelastic supply. So the first diagram right here is represent vertical supply curve. No matter how the price change, the quantity supplied will stay the same. Supplier will sell the same number of goods or services regardless to the movement of price, even when the price increase from P1 to P2. Second term is analytic supply. As you can see from a diagram shown, it represents steeper slope of supply curve. A change in the price of the goods causes a smaller percentage change in the quantity supply. The percentage change in the price P1 increase to P2 is larger than the percentage changes in quantity supply Q1 increase to Q2. Third term is unitary elastic supply. This diagram is represent rectangular hyperbola supply curve. A change in the price of the goods causes an equal change in its quantity supplied. Supplier respond to an equivalent percentage of change in quantity supplied from Q1 to Q2 as the price changes from P1 to P2. Fourth term is elasticity supply. Here I have stated the graph that is represent flatter slope of the supply curve. A change in the price of the goods causes a bigger percentage. The percentage change in the price P1 increase to P2 is smaller than the percentage change in the quantity supply Q1 increase to Q2. Last but not least is the perfectly elastic supply. The diagram that you can see here is represent horizontal supply curve. The change in the price will change the quantity supplied by an infinity value. At the certain price, the quantity supply is infinite. That's all from our group. Thank you.